A guy who's a Los Angeles Country Club member and a 0 handicap. I said, my partner is struggling. Howard, he's getting killed. He said, I got a new swing thought for him. It's worked for me for years. I go, what is it? He goes, soapy boobs. I said, what do you mean? He said, soaped up in the shower, like you can hear in the glass and the whole thing. I'm like very 80s. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Hey, Howard, I want you to think about soapy boobs as you hit this. And he's like, that works.
Yeah, welcome into the Vanity Index podcast, audio powered by JLab. I'm Wells.
And I'm Chad.
We're finally back, baby.
Look at us. We're so back.
We are back in the same room, back in the studio, which is really just a guest bedroom in my house, but it feels so right.
I've missed you, buddy. It's been a long time. This has been a long time coming. Every day I wake up, the first thing I do is check my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And because since you've been gone, it says Wells Adams away, and it's like day 21 of 67. So I don't know if you've counted, but I have. It's been 67 days since you were last in town. We've been apart. You've gone and done all your bachelor stuff. You've been in New York. You've been at this, celebrity pro-ams doing your thing. But now we're back. We're back in person. This is what it's meant to be.
Thank God. And we've got a great show coming up. The one, the only Mr. Billy Bush will be on the show. I'm so excited for that.
I'm so pumped that he's coming on because I played golf with him a few times, and he's such a great storyteller on the golf course. He's so funny. The guy's such an entertainer in general, but he knows everybody, knows every celebrity, remembers everybody's names, but he's really funny. He's got his games that he plays. Like he's a 10 out of 10. I think he's going to be an awesome guest. I can't wait.
Well, speaking of stories, we both had things going on this past week or weekend that was very golf intensive. You had your member.
Yeah, member guest.
Oh, sorry, you had your member guest.
Yep, member guest. Talked about it with Yip.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if Yip has done an audit on what happened. So tell me everything that happened, because I'm so bummed that I missed this member guest.
Oh my God. Okay, so it was 2-day member guest, typical member guest format, 5 9-hole matches. There were 10 flights in the member guest. I brought a amazing guest. His name is Brian Ferris. He is just like I've met him through golf. He's a member at a course in Atlanta, and he's involved with Pebble Beach, and he's just like a fantastic guy. He is an incredible player himself. He is, I believe, playing in the British Senior Amateur. And as far as I know, he made it to match play in the U.S. Senior Am last year. So a real stick, totally carried me. So he was my guest, and we show up, and we are the way they do these. They put all the pairings out and all the flights. And I figured, I think I'm a 0.0. I think he was like a slightly higher handicap than me, but like not a 1 or anything like that, maybe a 0.5.
Quick sidebar.
When
we're talking about handicaps, you'll say, like, I have a very low handicap if you are down close to 0.
Yep.
But then once you get to the plus thing, so the other day you were talking about how your handicap went from a plus to 0.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean your handicap went up or down?
Oh, that's a good question. You mean the semantics of it?
Yes, because you said my handicap went down. And I remember thinking like, oh, it's tough, guy. Yeah, but then I was like, oh, what he's saying is that it got worse because it went from a plus to a 0, which means it went down technically.
Yeah.
But went up when you say like you have a high handicap. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think that you can say, I think up means it's getting worse.
Yes.
So,
okay.
So, and for me, getting worse is it going down personally. Hey, I gotta hang on to some of this cash. Yeah. I don't have that much of it, I feel like I've been paying out a lot recently. But anyway, no, but yes, I probably said that incorrectly. I went from a plus to a 0, like 0.0. So anyway, so yes, we'll say for the parlance of this show going forward, your handicap goes down, it means it's getting better, which is lower. And then if it goes up, it's getting worse and higher. So and then obviously getting the plus figures, that gets,
that's the thing. You don't meet a lot of people who are in the plus. It's never an issue. And now all of a sudden I'm surrounded by, I do a show with a guy that's this. And now I'm getting confused.
I also I understand why the plus is the way that it's signified. Cause it's like you're giving shots back to the field. Yeah. But I find it very confusing for like a casual person that like if you just off the street, you're like, okay, there's this thing in golf called a handicap system. Mm-hmm. And basically the best you can be is a 0, which means like anybody who's worse than you you're giving them that number of shots. But by the way, if you're better than 0, it's not negative handicap, it's plus handicap, which is like a very confusing thing. But it is very sexy to see that plus on there. And I did in in the net game, which there's always a net game in these member guests. I was like a +2, I think. So I had a couple of I had a 2 for 3. So I made a birdie that got turned into a 3. It's all in the 6th hole. It's par 3. And then I made a 3 for 4, which is kind of annoying. So we were nowhere on the net game. But it didn't matter because I had a great partner, and we show up and we look at the board and it's posted, and we are 1A, Wells, which means we are the highest rated team in our flight, in the highest rated flight. So we're flight 1, we're team A, which means our first match is against the 6th team, or so the last team. And so we're dialed in, we're ready to go. I'm like game face on. We play a little practice round, and actually my guest Brian had never played our course, so we did a practice round, and we played against another group in our flight. So another guy who had flown in, who's a friend of mine. His name's Jimmy Hoselton, actually. So he's involved with grass clippings, which is this super cool kind of lighted par 3 tournament series, and they own this place called Grass Clippings in Scottsdale. If you're not familiar with Grass League and grass clippings, like look it up. It's dope. I think it's really cool what they're doing. Anyway, so he's like, hey, I'm playing in your member guest. So I was like, great. You want to play a practice round? It's because my guest had never played it before. So we play a practice round, and we do what we always do. We play hammer. So it's me and Ferris versus his host and Jimmy, and we got freaking destroyed. We got worked aggressively, badly. I believe we lost $430 each in this game. And it was exactly what you want, though, out of a hammer game, and why I love that game so much. We always play it where we get, as I said, re-racks on 17 and 18. So we were down 430. We were just getting stomped. They were playing great. We're like, okay, raise it on 17 to half, so 215. That's what the whole bet. We push 17, so we go to 18, and it's 430. So we get in a situation where we're on the green, and my partner has a birdie putt from maybe 15 feet. So not a gimme, but a decent chance of making it. We end up hammering. So they each have birdie putts that miss. So they're in for 4. So we have this glorious situation where we explain it to them what's going on. So we're like, we are now hammering you. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, let me just explain the context of what this hammer could mean. So he's got a putt. The hole's worth $430. They accept the hammer. It goes to $860. If he makes that putt, it goes to $860 times 2. So what's $1720?
Okay.
From them to lose.
Yeah.
Or they could decline the hammer. We win the hole, and it's $0. So it's like the variance was he misses the putt. We each lose. Him and I lose $430.
How far was the putt?
Like 15 feet.
Oh.
But
do not accept this
uphill,
hammer.
left to right, and they debated it for a inordinate amount of time.
Yeah.
They just sat there and looked at it. They walked around it, because it is like, that's what I love about the game, because like we're the ones in the hole. Like we got it. He'll make that putt. I mean, that's a 2 out of 10, 20% chance, I think, of a make. But it's, he was making putts all day. And so it's like, okay, do you guys just want to walk out of here like net zero, no cash exchange, everybody shakes hands, we go and play this tournament, it starts the next day? Or do you want to let it ride? Best you can do is $430, or you could lose $1,720.
So what do they do?
They said we're riding. So accepted the hammer, and he just missed the putt. So it was,
so he lost how much?
We each lost $430. So
okay.
Because we pushed, so the hammer didn't matter. So like, it was so fun. And honestly, I was so pissed off because we were losing so bad. And I was like, I don't want to lose $400-something. Like, that's a lot of money, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
But it made it so exciting anyway. And so even though we didn't make it, I was like just pumped because there was like so much action on it. And I love that they like rode it. They like went for it. And I was like, maybe that is a sign there's like a compulsive gambling problem.
Yeah.
I need the thrill of it. But it did change the whole energy of the ending, and it made it really fun. And they were all like excited and nervous, and it just made it a dominant. Anyway, so this is like the precursor. So that's our practice round. We got waxed by those guys. So we get into the first day. So we're playing 3 9-hole matches. We come out against like the 6th team and get beat, like recover pretty late, but like they got up on us early, and I birdied the first hole. That's not true. So we won the first hole. I birdied the first hole, and then that was basically it for.
Are they 18-hole matches or 9-hole matches?
9-hole matches. And so we end up losing the first match like 5.5 points to 3.5 points. So
Dang.
you get a point for a win, obviously no points for a loss of a hole, and then a tie is a half a point. And so we're like, oh boy, we're like not starting well. And then we end up winning our second match of the day. So we're like, okay, I think it was like 5-4. So we did a little bit better. We're not quite out of the hole that we had lost the first one in. So then the third match of the day is against the team that we played the practice round against.
Oh yeah.
And they're so cocky because it's like, they had just won our money. So we're like, hey, can we get a chance to win some of our money back? Let's play hammer in addition to our 9-hole match that we're playing. So a 9-hole hammer, you can't get the dollar amount that high because you're starting at whatever, $10, but we're like, we'll get into it. Wells, we made 6 natural birdies in a row on our team. I mean, chipping in, making putts. Like we probably made 400 feet of putts in 9 holes. We beat them 7.5 to 1.5.
Jeez.
It was a curb stop.
Were they like, did you guys do that first round on
It was
purpose?
like the perfect setup, the rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
We did not. I mean, I was trying to play well. I mean, one, like
Sure.
my partner got hot and he made 5 birdies. I made 1. So I said it like, hey, we made 6 birdies, but I made 1 birdie. He made 5 birdies. He ends up shooting a 30 on the front 9.
That's pretty good.
And just like went nuts. And so we ended up winning, some of our money back, not all of it, but enough and Wells, that match ended up being the deciding factor. We went on to win our flight handily. Because we did so well against them. The revenge act from the practice round. And so we made it. We make it and obviously win our flight, which is kind of you get the championship thing. I got some crystal, and then we get into the derby. We survived the derby until the last hole, and so they'd moved the tees up to the sort of ladies' tees to make the derby fairer. We're finishing on 18. My partner hits an amazing drive to like 48 yards, and I'm like staring down this thing. I'm like, I'm gonna hit this to like a foot. I catch a groove low. It skips over the green. We've got a really tough kind of awkward chip back down. Can't get it in the house for 4. Make a 5. We're done. So we don't win the whole tournament, but we did come in third, and we won our flight, which is great. So I got some crystal. We got to say we're sort of pseudo champions, and then I still haven't slept for like 3 days thinking about that 48-yard pitch shot that I completely boned like an idiot.
Yeah.
But it was really fun.
Was everyone following along?
Oh yeah, no, there's 100 carts out there.
Is my favorite thing in golf.
It's the best.
And if you've never experienced it, try to get yourself in a member guest because there's nothing more fun than, and it's actually almost more fun to not play in it.
Totally.
Because you're in a cart with a cocktail and you're just like talking trash, smoking cigars.
Yeah, no, and there's a beverage cart out there.
Yeah,
there's 2 of them. There's like a beer one and a spirits one. And it is a scene, and everybody's kind of wagering and trying to. And if for people who are listening who have never seen a derby, which I had never seen a derby until I joined a private club, so like I'm not assuming that everybody knows what this is. So in this tournament there were 10 flights, so there's 10 teams that win their flight. They all make it into the derby. Mm-hmm. So the second day you play your 2 9-hole matches, your last 2 of the 5, and then in the afternoon after those matches are concluded, there's like a little lunch break, and then you go and do the derby. And the derby is you take 10 teams, so each winner of each flight. And then there were 2 wildcard teams. There was like the low net team and then the team that wasn't already in that had the highest point total of all the flights. So it's 12 teams and it's alternate shot. And so it's literally like everyone tees off all at once. So 12 teams playing 1 hole. There's like all 12 of those carts plus like 50 other carts of the other people who are in the tournament who are just casually like driving along. And it's absolute chaos because you've got like 35 handicappers in the sort of 10th flight who are getting a shot, by the way, on a par 4 or whatever, and it's alternate shot. And then they drop 5 after the first hole, so it goes from 12 to 7. Is that the math? Yeah, that's 7. Yeah, 7 teams, and then you drop 3, so then it's 4 teams. Then you drop 1, and then the final hole is no strokes, and it's the last 3 teams. So it is really chaotic. If there's ties, then it goes to a blind chip off, which I love. And that's really fun too, because there's like there's like 150 people surrounding the greens, and there's a chip off, and it's sort of like a 5-for-1 chip off, and they make everybody turn around, like all the competitors turn around, and then they tell the crowd like to be quiet, so don't reveal, so you don't know if it's good or not. So you do these chips, and it's just chaos, and it's awesome, and you see people like from all over the place like hitting shots, and an alternate shot's a terrifying format because it's like the pressure's on to win the tournament.
Yep.
And the second hole of the derby was our number 11, which is like you can hit it out of bounds. Mm-hmm. And so there was a few of those. So, there's some like great meltdowns and also some just like great shots hit under pressure. And a derby is a awesome thing that I love about golf. So, anyway, so we emerged victorious. I think the vanity index definitely maybe carried the day because my partner ended up carrying me, and he was a slightly, statistically handicap wise as a higher index than I do. So I got lucky with a great partner, but that's great planning and a couple of great shots. I did make a bunch of birdies, which was good. So you need birdies to win in that A flight. But yeah, I got a nice new crystal trophy sitting in my on my piano at home.
All right. Well, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, buddy. So what did you do?
I played it in a celebrity tournament. I think I was the least. I was the lowest on the list of like A, B, C, D, or E celebrity. But that doesn't really matter.
That's just how they do the flighting. It had nothing to do with your level of celebrity. Don't worry.
So it was Stableford, but I hadn't played it this way. It was set up where double bogeys were -2, and it was double bogey max. Every time I've ever played, it was like bogeys, double bogeys are 0, bogeys are 1, pars are 2, birdies are 3,
right,
eagles are 5. And it just keeps pace of play up. Like it's a double. I'm picking up and getting the hell out of here. But this one, you could go backwards. And I think I told you in the last episode, like who all was playing. It was basically just a bunch of like celebrities. It was a bunch of athletes, and then Marty Fish, who is an athlete and also just a menace on the golf course, and a member of the same club that our guest is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hear some fish stories from Billy.
Anyways, they put myself, Joey Graziadei, and Ben Higgins. We're all from The Bachelor. They put us in the last group, and they put a freaking camera crew on us, and they followed us for the first 9 holes, and we played for whoever had the least amount of points had to donate $300 to the charity, which was Drive for Kids. And then we played $100, a man, winner takes all match, right? We go out there, and I think I do have a vanity index after what happened here.
Oh, no.
So the first ball I hit into the forest, and the entire crowd is there, and it's just,
No.
And I'm like, not a great start. And it was one of those days where like my warm up on the range was fantastic. And every time I have one of those good warm ups in the range, I'm like, well, it's going to be a bad day out there. So I'm able to like squeak out a bogey somehow and not lose any points, right? Second hole's a par 3. I put it like into the back face of it, double bogey. Next hole, put one out of bounds, hitting 3 off the tee, double bogey.
No.
All right, so it's really bad, right? And it's really tight in this course we're playing out in Portland, Maine, called Falmouth Country Club. I'm able to like make birdie, par to come in to get in with 0 points, okay? Because I was negative for a while.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So I lose every way possible when we're filming it for the first 9 holes. Second 9 holes, same thing. It's real bad out there. I come in with birdie, par to get to 0. I have 0 points, okay? I've lost every which way possible. Joey has made 3 points. Ben Higgins is playing really well with 6 points, all right? So afterwards, we go and get drinks at the rooftop bar. And we sit down, we're having beers, and Ben sits down next to me and goes, I've beaten you in the last 3 of these things. I need you to get your shit together or whatnot. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, man, like this is not, a real competitor wouldn't say that, they would just let their golf do the talking, but he's talking some trash to me now. I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. All right, good. Next day happens. Oh, so then go to bed, can't sleep, get 3 hours of sleep. Up at 3:00 in the morning, just looking through videos, just freaking out, right? Get to the course, same thing. Striping the ball exactly where I want it, moving it just like I want to, right? And I'm like, no, it's going to be another bad day.
Here it comes.
Get to the first tee. They announce our name. Big crowd there. Pipe it. Perfect right down the middle. Hit the green. 12-foot putt. You know what happens? One of the guys in a cart hits the brake, the brake release thing, right in my back swing of my putt. I missed the birdie putt. It's no big deal. Second hole comes up, par 3, over water to the right. Hit this nice little butter cut in, 15 feet. Missed the birdie putt, make par, it's all right. Third hole, perfect laser drive down the center. hit the ball on the green, 2-putt, par. All right.
He's back, baby.
So all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, let's go. Here we go. Joey, by the way, has gone like bogey, double bogey, double bogey, double bogey. He is out of it now. So now it's just me trying to get to Ben, right? I started at 0. He had 6. He's playing well. Around 10, I finally let myself do some scoreboard watching. And I've gotten to 10 points, and he's at 13. And I turn to my caddy, who's my buddy Dean, and I say, I think we might be able to catch this guy. And he's like, I know, I've been paying attention, but I didn't want to say anything to screw you up, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I think we might catch him.
We got him.
So I think it was 15 is a par 5. For some reason, my caddy says some dumb thing about like, he gives me like 17 swing thoughts.
Yeah,
And
that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, and so I top my ball about 40 yards, okay, on a par 5, and I'm like, dang it, this is not good. I've been driving the ball great the entire day. Ben comes up, snaps one out of bounds.
Oh,
All right.
doors open.
7 wood in the rough, real tough. I hit it probably about 150 yards, still in the rough. Third shot, pound 7 woods, about 250 up, 30 yards short of the green. Nice little 50-degree bump and run to about 10 feet, slippery downhill putt. Now he's going to make double, right? I make par, 3-point swing. All of a sudden, we're back. At that point, my caddy goes, look at the scoreboard now, Ben, like that. And I was like, shut your mouth. Act like you've been there before. Anyways, all that to be said, I ended up beating all the Bachelor boys.
Come on.
Came in 13th place. I scored 13 points. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's 13th place. Marty Fish scored, I think, 43 points. He shot 67 on the last day.
Oh, he's so
It's
good.
like it's a different deal.
He's so good. He's definitely the best celebrity golfer, I think we can say, just kind of unequivocally.
We got to have him on the show.
Yeah.
He is a member over at Bel Air, which is where Billy is a member. And I was telling him about it, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to come on. And I asked him a question. I was like, I mean, I know you were a really good tennis player, and you were a Davis Cup captain, but like, you win all these things. Like, have you made more money playing golf than you ever did playing tennis? And he was like, not for nothing, I've done pretty well playing golf, but he was like, but my tennis career was pretty good, dude.
Yeah, he's like, remember.
Yeah.
You know.
I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, so that was that.
That's great. Well, I'm proud of you, buddy. This is the right way to start the summer. We're back. We're
Yep.
in studio together, kind of live in person. We've got an amazing lineup of guests coming on the show. Notwithstanding this great start to us being back in person with Billy Bush, here in the flesh, but I'm so pumped. You're playing well.
Mm-hmm.
You're beating you're beating the Bachelor boys, which is the most important part.
I shot?
Yeah.
I shot 88,
Okay. Not like you.
77.
There you go.
But like, if that's not the most golf thing in the world,
So golf.
And here's the thing: so then I put those scores in, nothing changes on my
happens.
gin. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this bodes well for the summer, though. I think we're gonna have some great golf. We're gonna play some great, do some interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a lot more of these stories, and I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. All right, so we got a new segment.
Yeah.
Coming out here, part of our partnership with JLab. So the show, the Vanity Index, audio is powered by JLab. We have a new segment. We're calling it Overheard, powered by JLab. And this segment, we're going to talk about kind of rumors and things that we're hearing from out in the world of sort of the Vanity Index, I would say, universe.
Love
So
it.
I wanted to talk to you about sort of two things. So one, on our last show, you mentioned the kind of incident with Wyndham Clark. At the time, alleged incident,
Yep.
smashing up some lockers at Oakmont.
Yeah.
I was very careful to say that had not been validated yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, a week later, he's doing his apology tour. So clearly it happened, and he did his apology at the Travelers. And I've heard that Oakmont has said that he is not invited back. And so this is not my direct sources, but this is what I'm hearing. And I think that, there seems to be talk that they're pressuring the USGA to not invite him back for the next US Open, which is going to be I think it will be his last year of eligibility from his 10-year exemption from winning at LACC.
Dang.
Now, listen, I think this is a super slippery slope. You can't have our National Open, if you qualify for it, I think you should be able to play, unless you're like arrested or something.
Okay.
So yes, maybe he's not going to be welcome back to go, play his casual round at Oakmont anytime soon. But I do think it kind of is a slippery slope, because where do you draw the line in terms of like the club getting to decide who gets to play in the National Open? Leave that to Augusta, by the way. They can do that. That's their tournament. They own that tournament. You want to make up whatever rules you want for playing in the Masters. I am fully supportive. That is your tournament. That club can make those decisions. But yes, turns out there is a bit of fallout. So maybe you yourself were vindicated there in that statement. I think I was taking the side of this is pro sports and it's okay. You know, you don't necessarily condone it, but
taking the side of a guy who makes a television show about these golfers and not trying to piss them off. I get it, but I'm not surprised to hear that the club felt the way that I felt about it.
Yeah, I can see that. So that's the first one. The second one is when we're speaking of vindication, by the way. I don't know if you remember, but we did a podcast with Junior. Ken Griffey Jr.
I remember that.
And on that show, I told a story about Jimmy Rollins and about the time that he was playing on an adjacent hole, and I tried to chip a 4-iron at him to hit his ball back to him, and instead of it coming out like a nice chip shot, it was like a rocketed, stinger, basically, like right at him, and how he dropped his club, fielded it, threw it, and turned it and hit the flag. This clip went somewhat viral for our show.
It did.
It got a lot of engagement, and I've been called out. There's a lot of haters, a lot of people. It must have gotten into that Philly sports community, because I got a lot of, there's no way this happened. And it was like, cool story, buddy. No way it happened. You got to make up a more believable story. I mean, the probably hundreds of comments on this story about basically me being a liar. Oh, but what happened yesterday, Wells?
I saw a tweet or a comment, I guess.
There was a comment from the man himself, Jimmy Rollins.
Yes.
Verified comment from his official Instagram account. He said, I believe that this might have been more of a 3 or 4 hopper, I think he said. But it happened. So
did you say it was a 1 hopper?
I think in the story I said I just hit a stinger at him and he fielded it. But so we're not debating the number of bounces it took. I wasn't paying that close attention to it. But he did validate that it happened. So it was I was not making it up. Because why would I? Of all stories and all random people to say, Jimmy Rollins, like that's seems kind of random. But I've been vindicated myself. And the haters can continue to be haters, but I am vindicated. I feel great about that.
So good. All right, that was fun. Overheard, audio powered by JLab. That was a lot of fun. Quick break. When we come back on the Vanity Index podcast, I'd say this is a guest that I think I've been most excited about hearing some of his stories, because I feel like he knows everybody. He's at a great club, and he's just the best.
Billy Bush. When we come back,
stick around, everybody.
All right, I got to give a quick shout out to Knockaround. They've been making killer shades out of California for years. They're super affordable, and now they're actually the official eyewear of the PGA Tour, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been wearing them on the course. I actually wear them to work out a lot, and honestly, they're freaking hard to beat for the price. If you want to check them out, head on over to knockaround.com. Use the promo code VanityIndex20, and you'll get 20% off your first order. Some exclusions apply, but it's an amazing deal. Go take a look. All right, welcome back to the Vanity Index podcast. Today in the pod, we've got a guy who's been teeing it up on the red carpets, breaking news stories like they're drivers off the deck and bringing Hollywood into our living rooms for over 2 decades. Billy Bush, host of Extra, media royalty, and low-key golf nut, is joining us. From his legendary broadcast bloodline to his love of the game, Billy knows how to work a mic and a fairway. He's just as comfortable reading a green as he is a teleprompter. We're talking golf, we're talking Hollywood, and everything in between. Let's welcome the man who just might have the best short game in celebrity journalism, Billy Bush.
Wells, Chad, here we are. We had a date. We've kept it.
Yes, thank you for making time for us.
I love Augusta Green in here. This is gorgeous. I just went to Augusta for the first time this past year, and it is everything.
This blows me away that you've never been to the Masters.
No, never played in it either. But glad to go. We played the Augusta Country Club, which shares,
13T, isn't it right?
Behind it, yeah.
Yep, they abut, and they share the water. But we had a great time. I mean, I stayed in for the day. Our landing place, like leaving our stuff, was Butler Cabin. So I got to do it all. I got to use my phone in there, by the way.
Oh, did you get?
You take your phone out anywhere on those grounds, and you're going to get shot.
You're toast. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, very, very stiff, but just gorgeous.
I'm so surprised that you'd never been. It feels like that just seems like you're
I
kinda
know
seen.
so many people, and especially in the world of golf, and I'm stunned that I've never been either. I've got friends whose like fathers are members. I'm still waiting for the invite. I'm guessing the Mumskis played it.
I have.
You son of a bitch. Go fuck yourself. So that's what I say to everyone who's had a hole-in-one.
Oh yeah.
I can't enjoy that moment for them. I can't. They
You've
tell
never
me,
had
oh my
a
God.
hole-in-one?
No. I've had a hole in 3. 16th hole, Bel Air Country Club, pounded it right into the woods, put the ball back on the tee, right in the hole.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Nothing
the
worse.
That's the worst.
The worst.
That's the absolute
But I don't
worst.
ever feel anyone's joy. They tell me about it, and I'm like, oh, good for you. When's mine?
But have you been in a group where one is hit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've taken many photos next to the guy holding the flag that we all signed and all that, Oh, yeah, and he's got his number 1, finger in the air. Look at me.
Did
And
you
I'm
do
not
the
happy
3
for him.
when you made your reload ace?
I didn't take the picture.
Oh, yeah,
Chad,
it's-
I just moved on.
Yeah.
I moved on, pissed off.
Man. Oh, that's frustrating.
Well, did you go to the Masters, or did you just play?
Went to watch, went for 2 days.
Yeah.
My friend Reed Dickens, who owns LA Golf, rents a house every year, so he's got a big hospitality thing going. So stayed with him, and we hosted a party. Went to a few parties. Amazing. You live in these communities, and they take over these houses
Totally.
and destroy them.
Yeah.
Destroy them. But I'm sure the rental fee, covers everything. And it's just a wild scene. I mean, it's a nothing town. I mean, Augusta, it's not a lot there. Old town Augusta, there's some beautiful old homes down there, but other than that, I mean, once you leave the grounds of Augusta, it's like, they're getting away with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Strip malls and
Talk about the haves and the have-nots. I mean, you go inside that, you go down Magnolia Lane and
Yeah.
everything changes.
the thing that's interesting to me about that place is when you're at the Masters, that I'm sure you were in the clubhouse, right? And the clubhouse passes. If you're in Butler Cabin, you're definitely at a clubhouse pass.
Oh, yeah.
And that dividing little rope between the where you go by the tree where everyone meets and hangs out.
That's the tree. Yeah.
And then there's that little rope that separates literally like the masters of the universe from like everyone else who is there. And by the way, everyone there is having a great time.
Yep.
But just that little rope, I've never seen really anything. I guess it's kind of like courtside seats at an NBA game or something like. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's all those tables with the beautiful umbrellas and everybody's drinking azaleas and having lunch. And then there's just the rest of the people, and you're just there with that rope. Being inside that is just one of the great places to be in all of sports.
The hedges outside separate the haves from the have-nots.
That's
that
true.
rope, the haves from the haves more. a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
A lot in that bank account, that's for sure.
Yeah. No kidding.
That's funny.
Well, we were talking before you came in. Chad was just doing the member guest, which apparently he won his flight, and he was bragging about the crystal he brought home.
I'm literally 2 days off of our club's 3-day member guest, the big member guest. And my partner is, I think Howard Owens
Oh, wow.
from Propagate.
Of course.
He makes the golf show Stick.
Oh,
They
yeah.
produce Stick. And anyway, he's a very mediocre golfer, Howard. But we had done very well. I hate to do it, but I particularly played well. And we got to the final day, which is add 'em up. Like, there's no, I'll take a triple here. If you get a 19 on the first hole, it goes down. And I'm like, Howard, we are 6.5 shots off the lead. We can do this. Just got to relax, have fun. So we're teeing off at 10, which is over a ravine.
yeah.
And whoop, he tops one right down into the ravine, at which point we hit a triple. Then he hits another triple because it goes out of bounds and then into the water, and then a double and then another double. At that point, I said, all right, and I'm going low. At this point, I'm like par, bogey, par, and I'm like, why am I killing my handicap here with a tournament score? We got no chance. So then we started the drinking, and then the wheels came off, and then who gives a shit, and it's done. But I just said, oh, buddy, you got swallowed up by the moment. And who hasn't been, right? Who amongst us?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like kind of worse than that. Like, you have to cling on to hope. You're out of it after day one, but you show up the next day, you're dragging. And that, like, you know, the food's never like easy to going down, you know,
Yeah.
and you're on that first tee and it's just, hey, if we go really low, we got it. These guys could blow up, you know, we could give some gifts. No, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't
No.
happen that way, Billy.
No.
But I'm sorry to hear that about Howard. You know, he tells me he's a better tennis player than he is a golfer.
He is. He's a lovely tennis player and coming on as a pickleball player.
Oh, yes.
But as a golfer, I'm like, the 17 handicap is a good guy to have.
That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
You either got to have the 1 or the 17,
That's right.
right? When I'm like, I'm playing this thing as a 7.
That's tough. I always say you want like a good putting 12. You want like a 10 or a 12 who at one point was a really good player but doesn't practice.
Like a former lacrosse player or something. Good hands.
That's
yeah.
right. You know, someone who's played
Stroke a
lacrosse.
putt.
That's right. Yeah, can stroke a putt. You are a great putter actually, and I remember we played a game. You have a game that you played that I'd never played before called poli, and I consider myself a bit of a collector of gambling games in golf.
He has a little bit of a problem, we think.
We've talked about it a lot on the show. It comes up a lot, but
He was eager to play our poli game, which was
Yeah.
fun.
I had kind of learned a lot of ways to lose money on a golf course, but I had not learned about how to lose money playing poli. So for our millions and millions of listeners, can you explain the poli game? Because I thought this was so much fun.
Okay, so it has to be your first putt on the green as soon as your ball lands on the green. And you can't be putting for worse than net bogey, right? You can't be putting for an 8. We're not waiting for you to finally get to the green. And if the ball is, if you were to take the flagpole out and lay it down from the edge of the hole to where your ball is, if your ball is outside the flagpole, then it's out, so it's more than 8 feet, then you can call poli. And if everyone says noted, so there's no drama. If you sink the putt, everybody pays you, and it starts at $20. If you 2-putt to within the leather, nothing happens. If you 3-jack, then you pay everyone.
Ooh.
And it starts at 20, and whether you sink it or there's a reversal, every time there's blood, it goes up by 10. Well, I've seen it get up to $120. So now you're looking at a $360 putt, or you're paying that much out.
Oh.
And if you lose and you lose and you lose, or guys are winning and you're just, paying the whole way, at the very end, the best part about the escalation is you can get whole. On the final $100 putt, your debts are wiped clean. But I can't play golf without it.
It's so, I mean, not only I identify this game with you so much so that you have a nickname, right? You're like, there's a bunch of poli puns that you were bringing out the entire time.
Well, you call out a word that has Roman Polanski would be one. My little Poli.
I think you said Leo Tolstoy.
Leo Tolstoy.
Yeah, that was it.
That's a depressing one.
If
When
you can
miss
come up
it.
with a new one when we're playing, we're very open to new ones.
That's
I
amazing.
can't play golf without it though. It's a must.
It's so good. Don't you have hats made too? Don't you have merch? You have poli merch. I
No
feel like-
poli merch.
No poli merch. Maybe
Not
a
yet,
ball
but
marker.
good idea.
You have a ball marker?
No.
You have something?
No, with all the money I've made, I could buy some.
You
that's
could
for
make
sure.
and you could make more money selling poli merch.
You know who? Does everybody have one guy that's like a broken ATM machine? Okay, that is Reed Dickens, the CEO, founder of LA Golf.
Yeah.
He's done very well. He started Marucci Bats, sold Marucci Bats, and then he's for 4 years he's at LA Golf. This guy cannot stop betting with me. And he is a broken ATM. He just cannot stop losing. And then he doubles down, and then another press, and then at the end, the mighty aloha. And I just say, yes, 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 yes. And finally, it's never less than $1,200, and oftentimes it's $2,000. I mean, I feel terrible taking it, but I'm like, hey, Reed, you available on Friday?
I was gonna say, what time
My
you guys
girlfriend
going
gets
off?
a mani-pedi. I give her a little walking around cash for the weekend. This guy is brilliant.
Is he a guy that carries that much cash with him?
Well, this is the best thing I ever did. We're going up in the elevator after finishing final hole on 18. We're going up in the elevator, and I say to the other guys who are playing with us, I say, you know what the best thing, and he had lost like $1,600. And I said, you know what the best thing about Reed is, guys? Not only is he a great sport when he loses, but he's not a Venmo guy. You know what I mean? Like, Venmo's not real money. That's
Yeah.
just like, no one feels the pain. You should feel, he goes to the pro shop and he gets the hundreds. And then he gives you the stack of Benjamins. That's what kind of guy he is. And he's listening, going, "Oh shit!" He has to go to the pro shop and get the Benjamins. I mean, am I right? Big difference between getting 16 C notes in your hand and a freaking Venmo.
Wait, but was he Venmoing before? And then this was just you pressuring him to go get
you
cash?
wanting cash.
This was the first big killing.
loss.
So I
Okay.
set the tone.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been like, "Hey, what's up, Teddy? Can I have $2,000, please?"
Do you guys have a limit of how much you can write? a check for?
$500 in the pro shop, but Reed's good for it.
Yeah.
He's done well, So if you're certain guys, you have a good track record in there.
Yeah, we've been told it's a bit at the discretion of the starter because we get our
Well,
cash
in the rule book, I know exactly what it is, but I know people have taken more than that. One of my big complaints about like a lot of nice country clubs is there is no ATM in it, and like it's only that I can go get it if I was the member and write a chit. But like usually, if it's my club, you're going to be paying me because I know how to play it better than you, and then it's always, "Can I just Venmo you? I don't have enough cash."
Yeah, I mean now. By the way, I'll Venmo people. I just don't want. I just don't like receiving them.
Yeah, because it's fake
I
money.
like sending them.
It is fake money. You're right.
It's fake money.
Like, it's just there, and then it goes
After
out.
all that work.
It comes in, it comes out. It's kind of like,
Yeah, you're like net even at the end of the year, and like I don't know what happened. Did I win money or did I lose money?
You guys
Zero.
are just not playing the right games. You gotta, you get with the right people who play these money games. Like they'll always have the cash.
Another guy else, there's another guy that is the king of the aloha, Weitzel, Patrick Weitzel, whom I play with, big deal in town, agent guy. Weitzel is the aloha king. I might as well say, Patrick, why don't I just show up to the 18th hole and you tell me what we're playing that one hole for? Because it doesn't matter. And he's so rich, who cares?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you get there, you've worked all day, and you're like $600 up. Aloha. And inevitably, somehow, like every other deal in town, he ends up on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Patrick's done well. He's done well.
Oh.
This show is kind of all about like the intersection of Hollywood and golf, and you being, such a
I should be the face of your show.
You really should.
Can I
should
be
have
on
been
your
the first
logo?
guest.
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. Actually, for this episode, 100%, you'll be both of our faces
put
on
me
the
in.
logo
Yeah,
for the key art. Yeah,
Just
definitely.
photo bombing and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we can work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love to hear stories about, playing with big celebs and who the show's called Vanity Index, which we found a lot of celebrities have huge vanity index. I'm wondering if you've come across any vanity indexers out there.
Well, the biggest vanity index is Al Michaels, because he's, how do I say this? I love Al. He's a dear friend. And I play once a quarter with him at a charity. But he doesn't want to play as a 24.
Yeah.
He wants to be, I'm an 18.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. You're not. You're a 24, and they call him Gas Money Michaels because you're always going to win just enough to fill up the tank or most of the tank on the way home.
Yeah.
That's it. I always said, Al, instead of paying people, you should just actually get a pump. Have Exxon fill it up, and we'll just go and, whatever if you win $40, you just put 40 in the tank.
Yeah.
So he always loses. He never wins. But to him, it's more important that he be the 18 and not the 24.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting like two pops on a hole.
I'm almost against it. Like, you get one a hole.
By the way, tournaments?
Yeah.
I just played in a tournament with a guy, came in second place net. He's a 20, so on Adam Up Day, he's getting 2 shots on a hole. I say, as much as I like the guy, he shouldn't be in the tournament.
Yeah.
There's a special tournament at our club that has 4 guys who are 18 handicaps and above. And they have gold paint and the whole thing. They get their name on the wall, the best of the worst.
Yeah, what is the name of this tournament?
The Rush Butler. I mean, I only read it. I've never been in it. But that's like, you can't be like getting, 2 shots on 5 holes. Or whatever. It's crazy.
No.
Oh, it's a 6 for 4. And I hustled and busted my ass for a 4. No.
Yeah, can't have that.
Yeah, well, I'm good friends with a professional golfer by the name of Matt Gogol, and he went to college with my brother, and so he used to come and stay with us when he was like trying to get through Q school, and he has this amazing story of playing. They all have to play in those like kind of pro-ams on Wednesday or Tuesday before the tournament,
Yeah.
And he's playing with a guy who, was a 18 handicap or whatnot, or 18 handicap. And he gets to a par 3, and Matt has to be the guy who's scoring the thing, and the guy makes a hole in one, and he's like, he got 2 pops on it, and he was like,
What is that?
do I write down -1? What do I write? Do I write down -2? Like, what do I do here?
What was the answer? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he did it.
Can you peel him off the 8 that you had?
Yeah, we might have to
in a
call
later hole?
the USGA on this.
Yeah.
This will be a great follow-up question. We'll have to bring Billy back on when we know the answer. But what do you even write on the scorecard?
Well, I think he was like, I think he's like, this is the first time I ever wrote a 0 on a card because it technically was but he got 2. So he's like, but I don't know if I'm supposed to put -1 here.
That's so crazy.
Anyways, we'll find out.
You guys know the greatest hole-in-one story ever, right? From Maidstone. You've done that.
Yeah, I've been to Maidstone, but tell me
You
the
don't
story.
know the story?
No, what's the story?
Oh my God. This is the greatest hole-in-one story ever.
Give it to us.
Maidstone Country Club. Never mind applying. It is absolutely generational. It is blue blood like you would not believe. Forget it. You got to marry into this place. Okay. Gorgeous little beach club. The beautiful dunes right there on the Atlantic Ocean. East Hampton, Long Island. Stunning. They have their big member guest. I know the guy's name. I don't want to say it because I don't want to kill him, but his name is Pete. Let's just call it Pete. Don't need the whole name. Finance guy, super power golfer, loves it. Goes out, he's a guest, and they're kicking ass in the tournament. They get to, I think it's the 12th hole, which is a par 3. It is a hidden par 3. Goes up and over the dune. You can't see the green. So you got your caddy up there, and he's, standing. Okay, here's the line. They all hit. They're doing great. Pete hits, flies up. It's a flush is a beauty, probably 140 yards, felt good. Everybody hits. They go up, and they're walking around the green. He's like, what the fuck? Can't find everyone's on the green. Guys off to the side. Everyone's where they thought they would be. He can't see his ball. He's like, I hit that perfectly. What the hell? So he starts walking around the edge. His caddy's looking. Everybody's looking. He takes the ball out of his pocket, drops it into right there on a nice fluffy spot on top of a dune. And he goes, okay, got it. All good. So he flops his ball down onto the green, and then someone finds his original ball. Where was it?
In the hole.
In the hole.
Oh, no.
He had a hole-in-one, and he cheated. and his host looked at him and said, get your bag. Let's go. We got to go. Before anyone could call the marshal, he says, thanks, guys. So sorry. Grabs his guest, he and Pete. They leave. They go to the clubhouse. Pete banned for life, and the member banned for a year, suspended for a year for knowing that guy.
Oh, my God.
And bringing that man to our establishment.
Yeah.
It is the greatest. It's never worth it. Take the medicine.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Do you think
Can
he
you
tells
believe that?
people that he made a hole-in-one now?
I have a hole-in-one at Maidstone. Oh, you're the guy. No, no, I think, that's just, I can't imagine anything more horrible.
Yeah.
I love golf so much. If I became that guy,
Oh, horrible.
oh, man.
But also the repercussions are crazy. Like, I think if that happened, I would just be like razzing the person, like, oh, you're just a cheater. Like, that doesn't count or whatnot. But we have to go right now.
Right, and
We're
that's
in
how
trouble.
serious.
Yeah.
Well, at that place, it's like they
Yeah,
came
yeah, yeah.
over on the Mayflower. Like
Yeah.
that's
They did.
the kind of place that Maidstone is. I heard a story about Maidstone that a lot of the billionaires and folks and by the way, it's not even just billionaires. Billionaires can't get in there. It's like money can't buy it. It's all
You can
old
go to
money.
Atlantic out in Long Island, and it's $1 million for an initiation fee to
Right.
join the club.
Right.
Maidstone, it's probably like $80,000.
Right, but it's
Which
like
is
it's
so
just
classy.
Yeah, it's very classy. But I might have heard stories that families that do have a lot of money, they have their own sort of Maidstone car that they drive from their like Hamptons place because they don't want to roll in like the nice car because you can't. It's that kind of place. Like you might have like a little Toyota
An old
Tacoma or
beat up 83 station wagon is
something
just perfect.
Yeah, just to roll in. You can't pull up in the Bentley at Maidstone. They're not gonna like. They'll just be like, "Hey, I think you're at the wrong spot." You know,
That's Sabonic.
Sabonic's
Go
down the
to
road.
Sabonic.
Yeah, exactly. The other one I heard was a guy who was going through the process there, and his name was like Frank James or something like that. And they called him in and said, "Listen, we think you might be a great fit here, but we're all about taste, and we noticed that you've got monogram shoes." And that's not really something that we support here. And he's like, those are FootJoys. You know, that FJ is for FootJoy. But that's Maidstone for you.
Isn't it funny though that like the cream of the crop clubs are not the most expensive ones?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I've famously heard that like Augusta is not like crazy expensive to get into. Same with Cypress. I've heard tale that like you don't have monthly dues. It's just at the end of the year they kind of add it all up and they say, okay, this is kind of what it costs to run the club.
That's really rich. When you're doing that, that's rich.
It's when you get so rich that like being cheaper is more classy.
Yeah.
That is wild to me.
Yeah, they say, what'd you pay last year? 75 grand. Why don't you do 80 this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I don't
Why
care.
not?
I'm like, is it 75 or is it 74.50? I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's huge. That's big money.
Yeah.
That's Discovery Land money.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a great story. Would be curious, like, have you played in pro-ams before? I'm assuming you have.
You know, I played not really much. I played at Wilshire Country Club in the women's
LPGA
thing.
one.
Yeah, when Brooke Henderson in our group, who ended up winning the tournament, this is a few years ago, hit driver off the deck, second shot on that long par 5 at Wilshire, 240 yards or 250 yards, and she hit driver onto the green. And I was like, oh my God, that's a powerful woman.
Yeah.
So that, I was just there to meet Nellie Corda, to be honest with you.
Yeah. How was Nellie?
I never met her.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I followed her around. She was like, security took me away.
I play in those an LPGA Pro-Am in Orlando every year. And like, it's amazing to have like this like 5'1" girl beat the ever living crap out of you.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
And I'll like bomb driver and have like 8 iron in. They've got hybrid.
Yeah.
And they stick it to 3 feet. And I don't even get close to the green with my 8 iron. It's a real good.
It's humbling.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
tough out there. But, you're a member of one prestigious club here in Los Angeles. Are you members of any other club?
Well, I'd like to say it's more prestigious, and that is in Maine.
Oh, nice.
A member of this is very prestigious now. It's the North Haven Golf Club.
Mm.
Okay. You got $1,200, you're in. It's immune. It's 9 holes. It's very small. It's on an island 12 miles off the coast. Not fancy.
Yeah.
But no irrigation, in fact. But it's just island golf. I play it all summer long. The same 5 guys. It's like tin cup kind of a course, and beautiful. So much character. And we play at 8 a.m. Same guys, same bet. Breakfast sandwich on the table. Real humble. You can wear whatever you want.
That's great. What's your bet? What's your kind of regular game out there?
Regular game. I play with the same dudes. I play with Dudley and Gillespie and Jamie, and we go out and it's for a breakfast sandwich if it's in the morning, and or a beer at the town pub if it's
Epic.
Whoever someone's got the tab.
Yeah.
I go to Maine is a tough, but this year we're going to play Cabot Links up in Nova Scotia, which is like a top 10 course. Dion Phaneuf is a member of my club, great Toronto Maple Leaf hockey player. So he's going to receive us up there. You got to fly. My brother he's a pilot, and so we're going into this little airport, and it's right on the water in Nova Scotia. Stunning.
That's epic.
I've been wanting to play this place forever, and we're doing it this year.
Have you played it, Wells?
No.
I've heard. I haven't played it either, but I've heard everybody says it is absolutely spectacular. Do you do a lot of golf trips? Because we talk a lot about this show. It's like the golf trip has become the new, like, let's go to Vegas thing, like, for guys. And so do you do regular golf trips?
I've done many. I've done Bandon several times with fellas. We had one year we were going to Bandon, and then we looked up and the weather was so horrible. We turned the nose to Scottsdale. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That was dangerous. That trip was very dangerous. That's a big party town.
Oh, yeah?
We rented a house. We had, oh God. That was a lot of fun. But those, I do love a destination.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly something like that, abandoned. And now this summer, there's 8 of us going to Cabot Links.
Have you done Scotland or Ireland yet? Have you gone abroad?
You know, I've never done Scotland or Ireland or any of that. It is a big bucket list item. It's got to be perfect.
This place in Maine that you're talking about reminds me of this place Ely in Scotland, which is probably 20 minutes from St. Andrews. So if you ever go to St. Andrews, which I'm assuming which you have to do, by the way, Wells just got back. You know, Wells goes to St. Andrews all the time. But it's this like same thing. It's built around this old course, a couple hundred years old. It's really kind of not super fancy pro shop, but it has a periscope because the first tee is blind. You hit it like a tee shot, just like right over this huge hill. And they have a periscope from a World War II submarine in the pro shop, like the full one. And you can look at it so you can spot and see. It's so cool. To just
see
get
if
in
you
there.
can tee off yet?
Yeah, to see if you can tee off. And
oh my God.
And by the way, like the optics on it are amazing. Like you can zoom in, there's different levels, you can move it around. It's like, it's really, really cool. And that's just like the opener of this place. But it is, I mean, it feels like there's probably no irrigation there either, but you play down, you kind of play through these dunes, and then you get through this town, and people just like walk off the course and go to the pub for an hour and have drinks and have a dinner or whatever, and then get back on the course. And you play in the summer, and it's dark at like midnight, you know, so you can play. Like we played it during the British Open a couple of years ago. We finished up, I think, at 11:45 p.m. We think we teed off at 7. We played 18 holes, plenty of time. We had 2 foursomes. It was like the greatest experience. It was that exact same thing. Just people out walking. There's people with dogs. And you get through the little town, and then you get out on the coast, and it's like, you know, there's like a couple holes on the water, and it's just, it's stunning. And it's like this purity of golf that it feels like, God, we don't get that. We don't have that in the U.S. as much. It sounds like this place in Maine, that may be the spot.
It's real old school, and it's links golf.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's interesting. The way the ball bounces too. It's so different from playing, you know, a big kind of country club, super well manicured. You're playing everything in the air. That you're bouncing things on, you know, you can kind of get it around the green. It's all about creativity. You must do well. And do you play poli when you're out there too?
Always.
Yeah, you got to play poli.
I pretty much play poli wherever I go.
I love
to
it.
play it.
Do you have to accept the poli?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it was, are we playing polies or are we not?
Okay, so once it starts, it's
once
going.
it starts, that's
Okay.
it. There's no I've had enough.
The big rule is you gotta. That's why you have the lock in, right? The validating, right? So if someone calls poli, what do you say? Locked.
Noted.
Noted. That's
Okay.
right. So you got to hear from everybody because it's
You
like
say poli, I'll say poli's called.
Okay.
everybody's
called.
goes around noted. And
Someone has to note, or else the guy, I called poli. No, you didn't. It was $100 putt. We didn't hear you.
exactly.
It has to be noted.
Got it.
Yeah.
Did you grow up playing golf, or did you start it later in life?
You know, later. I mean, after college, really. I mean, you know, a little bit here and there, pick up a club. But then after college, I was living in D.C. and buddies were playing all the time, and I could play, you know, a little. And then I was like, you know, let me take some lessons. I want to get commit to this game. And then then I've been bitten ever since.
Yeah.
So yeah, early 20s.
Do you remember like that first shot you hit flush? Because I do. That kind of made me obsessed.
Yeah. I mean, it's like your first kiss, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh shit, I can actually play this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's so
you can
easy.
do it. Yeah.
We should do this. It just happened every
Well,
time.
it's still not easy for me, Chet.
Well,
it's easy for you.
Yeah.
And I assume Wells.
But no, it's just that you hit it great one time.
He's
and
a
you're like,
lovely golfer, this guy.
Oh, I know.
That's
I
nice.
lose a lot of money to him.
He
over at
is
the club.
good.
That's nice. Well, that's nice of you guys.
And good hair. You got
I
the whole
know.
thing going on.
Thanks. You know, I feel like between you two, this is like a real.
But
I
Poli's,
feel
I
honored.
will definitely hustle you.
You
in the
did. I
pole
got
game.
hustled. Actually, we played with Reed and Billy and another good friend of ours out there who also has great hair. Ross was in that group, I believe. Levinson.
Did he make it into the match?
I think he might have been in that match.
Yeah, he's rich.
And he's got great hair too. Honestly, kind of aspirational. But I did lose a couple $100 in poli, and I think you'd said it could get up to 120. And I believe our poli game ended at 260
Ooh.
on the 18th hole. and a poli was called and made, and we all had to pay out. And so I left with my tail between my legs that day, but I had a great
wanting
time.
to come back for more.
You got to come back for more. You got to come back for more.
We play a game here called Golf Bags of the Rich and Famous. We need to know what you are sporting. What are you hitting? What are you playing with? What are you putting with?
Okay. The driver is LA Golf.
Okay.
The putter is LA Golf.
Are you an investor in this?
In LA Golf?
Yeah.
No. He sponsors my podcast, Hot Mics.
Okay.
So they're the title sponsor of the show. So yeah, his putter, I swear to God, and I'm not just because of the sponsorship, but it changed my putting. It's heavy. It's got a tungsten face on it. The ball, if you look at a ball after you've putted in slow motion, it skids for a second before it starts rolling. This, because of the angular face, the forward teeth, it rolls from the very beginning. So you immediately have a roll, holds the line. It has changed my putting game, and now I'm sinking them from all over the place. You know, Adam Upday in our big tournament shot a 79, which is unbelievable because
great.
people are blowing up everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Malibu XT putter from
Okay.
LA Golf.
Is that the company is that what Bryson DeChambeau uses?
Yes, DeChambeau is
Okay.
the designer of the new drivers, which they, you match your swing speed to it gives you a custom face for your driver. So I got the driver and I got the putter, or LA Golf. The irons just came out, so they want to give me a set, but I'm working my paradigms right now. They seem to be working fine for me.
Callaway.
But I will pick up a second pair of LA Golf irons because they will be free.
Yes.
That's the key.
Very nice when you can get a free club, right?
Absolutely.
What ball do you play?
I play the LA Golf ball.
Okay.
They have an excellent golf ball, and I don't know why, but I didn't think there was a difference in balls. I was
Yeah.
like, it's not the ball, it's the guy hitting it. But for some reason, I'm consistently playing better with it, so I'm not changing it, and I don't know if it's the ball.
Are you one of these guys, like, do you curate your bag just aesthetically, or like, do you have any special head covers that have good memories?
So a
or-
buddy of mine just took over Sun Mountain. They were taking,
Yeah.
they used to be like whatever bags, but they've made them like leather, sexy,
Oh, yeah.
like funky, cool. And he made me a custom bag.
Sick.
And he's like, I want to do this. And he left it in my locker. I'm like, oh my God, this bag it's a little outrageous. It's got the nickname across the side. It's got the scripted name on the other side. It's got the big club logo. It's got multicolor. It's red, white, and blue. It's an American flag. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Quick sidebar. It's been earthquaking like nonstop for the past like 20 minutes. I don't know if you guys are feeling it.
I'm feeling that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
might
feel it.
Could that be like just maybe the?
I thought Chad farted.
I thought it was Iran.
It might be.
The Ayatollah's coming for us here on the
better
Very
not
Next
be.
podcast.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh, boy.
God.
Okay. Bag tags. Do you just have your club on there, or do you have other clubs that you like to go play?
No, just mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about head covers? Any special covers with some memories?
I played in the Valley Club of Montecito member guests recently, and their T prize were custom head covers.
Nice.
So whatever you want.
Ooh.
So I got a few of those with the initials on them and matching colors to the bag. I like that. Then I have the original state flag of Maine,
Oh, that's cool.
which is a sort of a pine tree with a star. That's cool. And then I have one from our North Haven Golf Club. Our logo is a blue lobster. And every 1 in 1,000 lobsters is blue.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's
So
a
you
rare
do,
little
you-
find.
So you've got like a nice aesthetically curated.
Yeah, and then
bag.
I got the one I bought from the comedy store, whatever, the guy going like this, for right.
Yeah.
And then I have one from my podcast, Hot Mics, which is a flaming thing. And I've got a whole tons of crap.
Okay, we got another kind of recurring segment we do. Walk us through your locker. So at your club, what's in the locker?
In the locker is you got to have a couple of sets of underwear, right? You got to have some Tommy Johns or something that that are good for because there's nothing worse than a bad set of undies when you get out there. I have a couple of belts. I've got about 6 hats. fresh unis, 4 sets of pants. I got a sport coat. I keep a set of loafers in the locker. Soon as I'm done playing golf, some guys go right to the patio with the golf shoes. Not me. I go right in. I get rid of the shoe and the socks, dry the feet for a second, slide into the loafers for the patio cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
That's very important.
The loafers and the club shoe is such a great move.
They stay there. It's the club shoe.
That's such a great
You know,
move.
I got yelled at the other day at the club by some older member. I was there for a meeting or whatnot, and I was wearing nice loafers, right? And after the meeting, we came out and we were having a drink on the putting green. And he came out and he was like, "You need to take those off. Those are going to ruin the green." And I was like, "There's not even spikes on these. These are flats." Like, he's like, "Oh, the heel's going to ruin them." And I was like, "I've never heard this rule." And he was like, "You need to take them off right now or you get off." And I was like, "Oh, whoa." I'm not sure if you'd heard that, but
No, but he might be right. I mean, if it's
It
a
could.
loafer with a heel on it, he could be right.
totally. But like, we've gotten drunk and Sarah's walked out there with high heels on and putted. It was fun. So I don't know.
That's just, she's aerating.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. She's also
How
not,
thoughtful.
She's not heavy enough to actually make a dent on the grass out there.
No,
You know?
not even with the heel.
No.
But she greeted me at the door, which was very nice.
That's nice.
Well, I told her that you were coming by, and she goes, "Oh, I haven't seen him in a while." So I was like, "Let him in, please."
One of her boss, her old boss, is one of my great friends. I'm trying to help him get into the club. Steve Levitan,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
creator of Modern Family.
I went to his wedding.
Me too.
Oh yeah. You were there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At Jay Suris's house.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
The house that Modern Family built, right?
The house that Jay, the agent. This is Steve Levitan's agent. Yeah, he should have. I'm hoping he paid for every bit of it. Didn't just give the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay was actually in the member guest this weekend, so
Really?
I played against him and another member. He was the guest. And
Where were you? Was it local here?
Yeah, local over at Lakeside.
Yep.
We won our flight, so it was pretty good.
Wow, but
Yeah.
then you went on and you collapsed.
Did collapse, in the unfortunately did not make it through the Derby. Hit a little groove low. We'll call it a groove low. It might have been 4 grooves low.
I've
on the,
won
chip.
one member guest. It was 2 years ago.
Oh,
but
yeah?
yeah.
Like here, your club?
Ours, yeah.
Oh, that's a big
Yeah,
one.
once I got a little GP. Just a little gold paint.
So good.
Yeah.
I've never won a single golf thing ever.
They're impossible to win.
Yeah.
I'll never win again, but that one was incredible. In the final 3, all the flight winners, we went to the shootout. John Elway and Massimo.
Mm.
This guy, John On, and Dave Brown, the old Giants quarterback. Me and my 70-year-old lawyer. Nobody bet on us. No, but one guy bet on us. One of the guys in the locker room bet on us. He's like, "Hey, Billy Bush is going to be good." And somehow we beat those guys.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Gotta feel sweet.
big odds.
And I know On and Moss, like those guys are hardcore.
They're Lakeside
Yeah.
guys too.
They're hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. And then
Very
Elway,
good.
I imagine, not competitive at all.
No.
So,
Very good golfer.
one of the first times I ever played our club, Elway was there on the range as a guest that day. And I'm like, welcome to freaking golf in LA. Like, I'm sitting teeing off next to, like, I'm on the range warming up next to like Marcus Allen and John Elway. And I was like, where am I? This is amazing. This is not how I grew up. Pretty sweet.
We just had Josh Allen in our member guest. He was what a great guy. 29 years old, the nicest guy on the planet. He, comes out, sits with the guy. You'd never know this guy was the NFL MVP.
Yeah.
So
He's
cool.
sitting there like, just wanting to be part of the hang.
Yeah, that's great.
Great, big son of a bitch, too. Just a giant guy. And hits the ball probably 370 yards off the tee.
That's awesome. Did you guys have to play against him? Was he in your flight?
I did not. No, but hung out with him a lot.
I love
And
that.
he showed up with his new bride for the final night dinner dancing deal. And
That's cool.
yeah.
I saw the video he was playing against Phil Nicholson, and he went and stole his rangefinder and turned it to meters.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Oh
really
my
good
God,
one.
did he?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because like Phil's like famous for doing that to people. So
He's a great prankster.
yeah. So he did it to him, and in the video, like Phil keeps on hitting like terrible shots, and finally he's like, "Oh, it's in meters."
Oh my
So good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you, so with the Reed connection, have you played with Bryson yet? Have you met Bryson, played with him?
I did a shoot with Bryson for when the driver came out. They wanted to go to a nice club, and I said, no, I want to take Bryson to Rancho Park, which is
Nice.
a public golf course. I said, this will be fun. And we had the best day. Bryson showed up, and there was this woman, this Latina woman who was wearing, yoga pants and had an old set of clubs she bought online somewhere. And she found herself obsessed with golf and watching YouTube videos to learn how to play golf. And lo and behold, she could hit okay. And she's wearing sandals and she just loves it and has her little bag. And I see this woman, I'm like, this is the perfect one. This is unbelievable. And I walk over with Bryson. I said, hello, what's your name? I'm Maria. Nice to meet you, Maria. This is Bryson DeChambeau. He is the U.S. Open champion. And she's like, oh, I know. I watch your videos. I watch you online. He's got a big online presence.
Yeah.
And she was going nuts. And for the next half an hour, we watched Bryson give this woman a lesson. And the thing about this guy is, it went from a fun, cute shoot to him seriously wanting her to learn how to hit a draw.
Yeah.
And he coached this woman, and we watched, and it was like, I could cry. It was so beautiful.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
And she, not a woman of a lot of means,
Yeah.
but found the game of golf and then got a private lesson from Bryson. So that's my experience with him golfing, but I've never gone out with him.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
What is your favorite thing about the game?
Character, humor. They say golf is like bike shorts, right? It reveals a lot about a man. And that's Rick Riley's line.
That's
and
a
I
good
gotta
one.
give it. That's Rick. But it's true. It does. If you're out for 4.5 hours, you don't want to be out there with an asshole, or some snobby guy or some shitty guy. So there's nothing I'd rather do with the people I really like. It's about the best time spent. And my closest friends in the world, I play golf with, and you just get closer. It's just,
A lot of people think that, deals are made on the golf course, and I found that not really to be true, but business is done in the way that, like you said, you learn a lot about someone. And I imagine a lot of deals don't happen because someone realizes that they're an asshole on the golf course or they're a cheater or whatnot. I'm wondering if that's ever happened to you.
A certain celebrity I've played with who has a very big problem with having cut corners in his career and is known for cutting corners, came out and cheated in our round. I mean, they took a ball that was half submerged in the sand.
Yeah.
And when I turned away and was talking to someone, I looked back over, it was now removed from the little indentation where it was and was now sitting up on top of the little sand pile behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And he now had a crisp, beautiful slice underneath shot instead of a hammer down from behind. And I was like, wow, you're known for this.
Yeah.
It ruined your image. And now you're doing this. Wow. Okay. That's a no, never again.
Yeah.
If it's a business thing, I understand a little business. That's you invite people out that you want to do biz with, and if they're not great guys, it's 9 holes, right? So if you realize, I got invited to play with Billy over there, we want to do some things together, but we're only playing 9 holes, it means you're not that great a guy. I'm revealing that. 18, we want to do biz, and if it doesn't work out, who gives a shit? You're a good man.
So do you on the front end be like, hey, I think I can just do 9 today, just in case by the 3rd hole, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore?
It's like if you have a Match.com date, and it's it's like, we'll do a coffee at 11.
Yeah.
I usually, right? But one guy, who's sort of in the news, and I basically wanted to land the first interview with him and his partner, and I took him out, and I took the gamble on 18. Such a great guy. I had him out 2 weeks later.
Really?
Yeah. So
there you go.
you live and you learn.
Did you get the interview?
Remains to be seen.
All right. Oh, I'm banking on it.
Let's see.
Breaking news.
yet.
Yeah.
Billy Bush exclusive. So
Well, we want to be respectful of your time. You have time for some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, fire them away.
Yeah? Okay. This is Vanity Index rapid fire questions with Billy Bush. Number 1, what's your handicap?
Right now, from the Blues, it would be a 7.7 index.
Golf style, bold or classic? Go forward or lay up?
Go for it every time.
Morning coffee or post-round beer?
Post-round beer or tequila or both.
Walk or ride?
Walk.
Biggest pet peeve in golf?
Putt rakers. Raking putts, giving putts that are too long,
Yeah.
begging for them. You know, is that good? Fuck you. It's 4 feet. I'd rather putt 12 feet than 4.
It's a poli man right
Yeah.
there. Favorite course you've ever played?
National golf links.
One course you want to play?
Augusta National.
Full circle. Get to the course early or
Last second.
Last-
Moment coming through. Shoes still untied.
dream foursome?
Never on the range. Dream foursome. You two guys, because I like you so much.
Yeah.
And let's sprinkle. I think I'd like to play with. I'd like to play with Tiger Woods.
Yep.
That would be amazing. I'd like to play with. Let's see. Ooh, that's so good. Edit.
It could be dead or alive too.
Okay. Tiger Woods. Dean Martin,
Nice.
great old member of our club. Dean Martin and Jack Nicholson.
That's
great
pretty
old
good.
member of our club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Jack. Jack, great story from your club with Jack, right? The cigarette story.
Yeah. Well, tell it.
Jack goes into the locker room at Lakeside, and first of all right, one from each. Quickly, Jack goes in, brand new pro. He's members of both of our clubs, by the way. He goes into one, and ours, new pro, he's smoking. And the pro says, Mr. Nicholson, hello, I'm the new pro, and you are not allowed to smoke in here, sir. And he goes, hey, pro, go fuck yourself. What time's my tea? So then he's over at Lakeside, and he's smoking in the locker room, and they make the attendant. Someone's like, okay, Manuel, you got to go tell Mr. Nicholson he can't smoke in here. He goes, Mr. Nicholson, sir, you are not allowed to smoke in the locker room. And he goes, oh, yeah? Can I fucking fart? He rips a huge fart. Guys. There's Jack.
Yeah. I feel like Jack should be allowed to smoke wherever he wants to smoke.
I think so.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think so.
Because Dean Martin was smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How you get that voice, like that beautiful voice?
Totally.
Baritone.
Yeah, Frank, Dino.
No, they all did it. Yeah.
Favorite golf swing thought?
So, can I say this?
Yeah.
I just was entertained. It's new. It was just given to me by a guy who's a Los Angeles Country Club member and a 0 handicap. I said, my partner is struggling. He's Howard. He's getting killed. He said, I got a new swing thought for him. It's worked for me for years. I go, what is it? He goes, soapy boobs. Like, I said, what do you mean? He said, soaped up in the shower. Like you can hear in the glass and the whole thing. I'm like very 80s. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Hey, Howard, I want you to think about soapy boobs as you hit this. And he's like, that works. So apparently it's a red hot thing. So
That's
use
a good
that.
one.
next time I'm struggling, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, we'll give it a try.
I thought at least it was like on the backswing soapy and then boobs on the way through.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Soapy. Boobs. Down the center.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite golf movie?
Oh, God. Well, it's so, you got to go Tin Cup, probably. Just so charming. Happy Gilmore has to be second.
Yeah. Change one rule in the game. What would it be?
Out of bounds. When the ball goes out of bounds, hitting 3 is a little brutal. I think you got to go to the lateral. Where it went out, you pull it out, and you hit 3 from there. I don't think it's a reload out of bounds. It just takes you out of the hole completely.
We were talking about this last time, and I used this in this tournament recently. So there is a new rule now that you can come out laterally from where you went in from White Stake, but you're hitting 4, right?
It's like I think you're hitting. It's an extra penalty shot.
Yeah.
I agree. Like play out of bounds as lateral hazards. We've talked about this a
Yeah,
lot.
it
Like,
should
put
be.
that. You can even make that a local rule. I think that's.
Let's White Stakes are gone. Let's just have them be red stakes.
Yeah. I
Have
agree.
them be red stakes, and if you pull it out, you're hitting 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Your gives you a chance to stay in there. Go take
Yeah.
your swing and go. Get yourself.
Yeah, and
back
then
in
the other
hole.
guy implodes, and all of a sudden you're even.
You're right
On
there.
his second shot,
Yeah.
the hole's still competitive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
This next one, I feel like you already answered, but maybe it's a different answer. Best,
Soapy boobs.
Exactly. It was best golf tip you've ever received, and I think
It's got to be that.
It's got to be that.
Who do you wish you could hit the ball like?
Oh, the best golf tip. My father gave me one from a pro at the Yale New Haven Golf Club back in the name, Peter Pulaski, and is just following the club head to the hole when you're putting. So if you're struggling, just follow the putter head to the hole. So after the ball leaves, continue the putter head in the line of the hole. Like don't trail off. That's helpful.
That is helpful. That's
Yeah.
good advice.
Who do you wish you could hit the ball like?
I wish I could hit the ball like Josh Allen of the NFL, 370-yard drive.
Are they straight?
Oh yeah,
Dang.
big, long, beautiful draw. Oh god,
Hammers it.
hammer time.
What's your favorite club in the bag?
It's the 60-degree wedge with a little bite on it from around the greens. Skid that sucker right in there, and then the putter. Of course, the putter is money.
Wins literally.
Short game is if I can get off the tee. Sometimes it's the drive that struggles, but the short game is usually pretty good.
Yeah, we got similar games. Least favorite club in the bag?
Least favorite club in the bag. Any low iron, a 6-iron and down. I'm like, the hottest club in golf right now is the 7-wood.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing the 7-wood. I'm all about that. So I don't even keep a 5-iron, 4-iron, or 3-iron. I don't even own those.
Favorite on-course adult beverage?
Reposado soda orange slice.
Oh,
It's excellent.
that
choice.
sounds like a drink I know.
Nice little repo soda with orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be repo too. The repo
Yeah.
just
Repo.
gives you a little bit of that.
A little bit of
You get some of those smoke, the vanilla notes. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah. I
Sounds
like
great.
that.
What makes you nervous in golf?
Nothing. I love it so much. I'm not good enough to care so much that like I get pissed. I've never slammed the club. My great friend Scott Wolf, from Party of 5 from TV, he's a beautiful golfer, amazing golfer. One time he got so mad. Scott, mild-mannered Scott, he got mad he broke his putter.
Really? Like over his knee?
And we were renting him. He was renting the clubs at Pelican Hill. And he goes, "Do you think I could go in and tell the guy the club broke?" I was like, "It's a putter, Scott." You can say that with a driver.
Yeah.
I think you're fucked. And another funny thing, I love celebrity name dropping for you because because of the intersection of the show.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman said the funniest thing: 7-foot putt. He barely misses it on the edge, and he goes, "It was the right club." I thought, oh my God, that is funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, steal that.
Jason came up with the nickname for Chad, which is Chadley Cooper,
Chadley Cooper.
which is so good.
What a compliment.
That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah.
from
Thank you,
Jason.
sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Jason, sneaky, funny shit talker on the course, too.
Oh, yeah.
Very dry.
And gotten very good.
He has.
He's now at like a 77, 70. He's in the 70s on a regular.
Respect to visor guy, which I'm all about visor guys. I'm always visors on the course. You see me out there, not in a visor, something's gone
You got to have
horribly
good
wrong.
flow for that, and you and Jason both do.
You also have great flow. I feel like you should pull out. The visor just feels like you'd look great in it. Everybody looks great in a visor.
You might be right.
No, I tell you what it is. You got to have a big head to have for the visor to work, and I feel like you've got a small head like I do, and it doesn't work.
I got a big dome.
Oh, you do?
I just got a haircut, so. But yeah, I think it's a pretty big head.
All
I
right,
don't know. I don't look good in
Look
the
at you.
visor as much as
I don't know about that.
I see that little, bouffant on
Yeah, a
the
little
top coming
coif.
out.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just kind of quaffs out. Look, it's intentional.
yeah. All right, we're almost done. Best score you've ever shot,
72.
Wow.
and give us one word to describe your game.
Nasty.
Ooh.
Cagey. Nasty. King of recovery. Never out. Scrappy. That's it. It needed 4 to get to that one. Scrappy.
Billy Bush, thank you so much for coming on the Vanity Index podcast. This was very, very fun.
Great name. Vanity Index is a great name for the podcast.
And then, shortened, it's VIP. It works so
Jesus,
good.
guys, that's really well done.
Thank you. It means a lot, honestly, coming from you.
You're doing a lot. What do you want to promote?
My podcast is Hot Mics. It is I left television for it. It's doing great and growing. In 5 months we've had massive growth, and I'm just I'm done with linear television and left extra. So in September there'll be a new host, and I'm gonna go and do what makes me happy, like you guys are doing right now.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, dude. This was so much fun.
Wells, thank you very much, Chad.
Billy,
Chadley
you're the
Cooper.
man.
Can we all go play together at some point?
Well, I mean, I
let's do
think
it.
that's obvious. That was decided midway through. We all felt it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
We will do that.
We'll get Reed in there so we can get you a little taste.
Yeah.
Get the ATM machine.
We can get you paid.
Billy is the best.
I mean, as advertised,
Yeah.
so much fun.
I'm just jealous that you've gotten to play golf with him. I've only ever known him as someone who interviewed me,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I really want to go play golf with this guy.
He's so much fun out there. He
Yeah.
really is. We talked about it, but I'm shocked that he hasn't played Augusta because he's just such a fun guest to have.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to put together a cool group, Billy's the kind of person that you add to it if you're trying to impress someone else, because he's just so entertaining. He'll just bring the group together. He'll create cohesion. He'll get you fired up. He'll get you gambling, whether it's for a beer or a sandwich or several $1,000s losing to Reed Dickens. He's a great golf partner and person to have in your group. So we're lucky to have him on the show. I'm so pumped, and the stories were great. I mean, I feel like these are already up there with some of the greatest stories we've heard on this show.
Yeah, this one was definitely freaking a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for listening to the Vanity Index podcast, audio powered by JLab. If you could, rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll be back again next week for all you golf sickos out there.
See you next time.
Later.
All right, guys, listen up. If you've made it this far, you've clearly got impeccable taste, or you're stuck in traffic. Either way, do us a solid, hit that subscribe button, follow the show, and if you're feeling generous, drop us a rating and a review.
Yeah, and if you want to keep up with all the celebrity sandbaggers and behind-the-scenes chaos, make sure you're following us on all the socials. We're talking Instagram, X, Twitter, same thing, TikTok, everywhere you can possibly stalk us, we're there, at Vanity Index Podcast.